Jenna Ortega has quit Twitter after being trolled on the platform. Many people were going at Jenna Ortega, calling her an overrated actress and saying that she doesn't deserve the wide acclaim she got for her starring role in Wednesday.
Jenna Ortega was just called entitled and toxic by a producer.
Jenna Ortega has just exposed the dark side of being famous, and Luvs, let me tell you, it's really disgusting. Y'all, what she had to say was so shocking that she can't look at herself the same way ever again. And the worst thing about all of this was that all of it happened to her when she was just 14. So Luvs, sit tight and get ready for one of the most shocking and disgusting stories that led to Jenna Ortega regretting ever being an actress.
Jenna Ortega is in the height of her career, but she just quit one of her biggest roles, and because of that, it might cost her work down the road.
So it's no secret by now that Jenna Ortega is one of the biggest actresses in Hollywood right now, and rightfully so. Jenna has been in almost every big TV show, from Stuck in the Middle, Wednesday, to Iron Man. She was even in an episode of CSI. The girl is a star, and to think she is just 21. Now, Jenna started acting when she was very young. Ever since she was 6, she has had a passion for acting, and she used to beg her mom constantly to let her go to auditions, but her mom was always hesitant. It got to a point where her mom would sign Jenna up for so many activities so she could be super busy and forget about acting. But that didn't work. So her mom eventually gave in, and one day she posted a video of Jenna acting while she was 9, and a casting director happened to see it, and the rest is history. Now, fast forward to today, and Jenna's name is on everyone's lips. I mean, it's hard to meet any person who doesn't know her. And that level of fame does indeed come with its perks. However, many people don't tell you that there is a huge dark side of being famous. And Jenna learned that the hard way. Luvs, recently Jenna Ortega did an interview where she had to recall all the traumatic and shocking things she didn't know about being famous. Now, it doesn't take a genius to know that there are a lot of creepy people on the internet, and especially if you're famous, it's like they are attracted to you. Now, these creeps just can't walk up to a celebrity, and the only way they can get into contact with one is on social media. And sadly, that is how Jenna happened to come in contact with one. You see, when Jenna was 12, she opened a social media account like everyone does, but unlike regular people, at 12, Jenna was already kind of famous, and so when she got online, she received followers. One day, Jenna decided to open her very first ever DM, and let's just say, that is a moment she will forever regret. In a recent interview with the New York Times, Jenna recalled that fateful moment and how it left her scarred. You see, upon opening that DM from a fully grown man, I must add, Jenna was shocked to see that the guy had sent a picture of his junk, if you know what I mean. Like, how does a person even get the audacity to do such a thing? And this person most definitely knew Jenna's age at the time, and he still chose to do it anyway. Now, as shocking as that might sound, for Jenna, this was only the beginning of some pretty disgusting stuff that she had to go through because of being a famous person. Now, if you've been on Twitter the last couple of years, you might have noticed that Jenna doesn't really have an account there, which for a celebrity of her status is quite odd. All the accounts that have her name are either fans or impersonators who have even gone as far as paying for verification badges just so they could fool people. But have you ever wondered why Jenna wouldn't have an account? I mean, it would boost her brand and get her a ton of fans. And it's not that much work. She doesn't even need to run the account herself. Someone on her team could do it for her. Well, it turns out a couple of years ago, she used to have an account, but once again, the creeps came after her. Y'all, when Jenna was 14, her team encouraged her to open an account, and it didn't take long for Jenna to regret that decision. You see, after Jenna opened her Twitter account, creeps started making AI deepfake pictures of her doing some pretty NSFW adult stuff and posting them. And it wasn't just a few pictures, we are talking about hundreds of them being made by multiple people. Y'all, can you imagine? And the worst thing is, if Jenna tried to address the issue, it would only lead to more people making those deep fakes and sharing them to the whole world. And for such a young person, having such pics of yourself can be so traumatizing. It got to the point that she couldn't take it anymore, and Jenna recalled this disturbing time in her life and said, "I used to have that Twitter account, and I was told that, oh, you gotta do it, you gotta build your image. I ended up deleting it about 2-3 years ago because the influx after the show had come out, these absurd blurred images and photos, I was already in a confused state that I just deleted it. It was disgusting, and it made me feel bad. It made me feel uncomfortable. Anyway, that's why I deleted it, because I couldn't say anything without seeing something like that. So one day I just woke up and I thought, ugh, I don't need this anymore. So I dropped it. Now, because of all this, it is no surprise that Jenna Ortega has some pretty strong opinions about AI, and even though she admits that AI could be good, she low-key admitted she still hates it. I hate AI. I mean, here's the thing. AI could be used for incredible things. I think I saw something the other day where they were saying that artificial intelligence was able to detect breast cancer 4 years before it progressed. That's beautiful. Let's keep it to that. Did I like being 14 and making a Twitter account because I was supposed to and seeing dirty, edited content of myself as a young person? No, it's terrifying, it's corrupt, it's wrong.
You know, by my first agency, really, that I had to have a public platform, and that's what I had to be. And also, when I did television shows when I was younger, they would take us to media training, or they would call it, you know, Disney 101 or something like that, where you would go and they would give you a notebook and pens and pencils and paper, and they would say, okay, you're gonna post 3 times a day. This is how you get the most engagement. This is how you get people liked. This is how you build followers. Download these apps as well. Engage, you know, promote our show on. So it became a business, or you would go into some sort of audition or meeting, and it was, how many followers do you have? Or,
yeah, I didn't get a part once because I didn't have enough followers.
Yeah, it's...
Which I was like, it was so weird. They're like,
so...
You were great, but your numbers, I'm like, oh God.
I was that way a little bit for a while.
Anyways, once this New York Times interview was dropped, it went viral. Now, I assumed that, just like me, most people would be sympathetic to Jenna's story, and some people were. However, others, not so much. Just take a look at these reactions from people. Why didn't she just report this to Twitter? That's why they have that system set up. Why use the block button? That's what it's for. She should have complained to Elon Musk to take deepfakes down. Taylor Swift complained, and her deepfakes were taken down. If this is true, I don't care. As if movies aren't completely fake and now she has a problem with fake stuff. I'm not trying to be mean here, but who the F cares? Gross. Where are these deepfakes so I can make sure I don't click on the link by mistake? LOL, I wish this was the biggest problem in my life. It's awful, but don't you think it's a bit ironic? She's upset about this stuff and yet works for Hollywood. Does she not know what they allegedly do?
We like her, but we just don't know if she has enough of a platform or enough of a name or enough of, you know, because it's so important.
Hate that.
It's really, really ugly, and I think that social media, what it does to anyone our age, is it's such a comparing game, and such an I think it almost influences bandwagon mentality, where it's so easy to follow what a trend may be, or, you know, as soon as you see a trend, especially the way the algorithms are set up, it's all you're seeing and all you're feeding on, and it's just not brainwashing in a sense, but just very, very manipulative. And I get really, really nervous I feel like after the show especially, I'm really, really nervous to post or really say anything on there, or even be myself, because I feel like
it could be misinterpreted or
But yeah, that's like a whole another world that people don't even prepare you for.
Yeah.
Now, as it turns out, Jenna Ortega's problems weren't just online, but with her work as well. As it turns out, the life of a young actor isn't all glitz and glam. Things were so bad that on multiple occasions, Jenna regretted wanting to be an actor. Luvs, besides dealing with a lot of creeps, Jenna also found it hard to get any acting roles, mainly because of her ethnicity. It got to a point where she considered dyeing her hair blonde just so she could pass for a white girl. Now, things got worse after her time at Stuck in the Middle came to an end, because she had outgrown the role and she wanted to pursue more mature roles, but she was too young, and she couldn't go back to Disney because she was too young, and all these frustrations were becoming too much for her to handle. And not to mention the number of snakes in Hollywood. According to Jenna, a lot of people were out to sabotage her career, and they pretended to be friendly with her just so they could bring her down. We were so brand new to everything, and some of the people had been in it for years, or every kid in that family was an actor, or all of these people had advice and experience and lessons, and I didn't know anything about Hollywood. I didn't know anyone, and I wanted to be able to do things at my own pace and in my own style. But you didn't know if people were saying things to help you or to hurt you. And not even on that show, just speaking about my career as a child overall, there were definitely a few moments where you realized, oh, maybe that person didn't have my best interests, or maybe they didn't want to be as supportive of me as they said. And that's a hard lesson to learn so young, and especially hard when you have adults or people who should know better advising you in a way that's potentially harmful to someone whose brain is still growing and developing.
People should never be put on a pedestal. Like, nobody is more special than another because of what they do. And then the more I guess I've been exposed to the world in a sense. People prey on that and take advantage of that, and they see your vulnerability and twist it in a way that you don't always expect. So it's just like it's so strange. Sorry, I don't mean to do this. I didn't even feel like I was gonna do this, but it is like, it's like such a hard thing to balance, because it's how do you be honest without jeopardizing your own health and safety and feeling like you're it's very easy to feel like almost out of control of things, which is why it's so important, I think, for people to get off the phone and, experience. And I've been so grateful and lucky to be with family and friends and things like that who have been with me since I was a fetus, or a child, or 4 or 5, who
Now, we've all seen in the past how tough life for kid actors can be. Just take a look at a few months ago when Quiet on Set was released, and everything that allegedly went down at Nickelodeon was exposed. And that's where JoJo Siwa came from, and look at her now. Now, Jenna attributed a lot of the way she was able to overcome all the Hollywood snakes and minefields was because of her mom, who watched her like a hawk. They had heard and seen all the awful things people around Jenna had been going through, and Jenna's mom took it upon herself to ensure Jenna wouldn't end up the same. She prioritized Jenna's wellness and safety rather than the pursuit of fame and money. It is such a shame that there was nothing really that could be done to completely end the creeps online and their AI deepfakes, because that stuff can be really damaging to any person, no matter their age. Anyways, what do y'all think about Jenna Ortega exposing these online creeps and Hollywood snakes? Was it wise for her to just leave Twitter completely so she didn't have to deal with all the NSFW deepfakes? Let me know your opinions down in the comments below, and don't forget to check out my previous videos to ensure you are up to date with all the latest tea. Till next time, bye!